Well, like most municipalities, we are required to plan through our Growth Management Act. And so the big planning document that everyone hears about is the comprehensive plan. And one of the components of that we've decided to focus on and do really for the first time in the history of Olympia is to do a transportation master plan. And that's what we won the award for. You know, anyone that lives here and decides to stay here generally loves the outdoors, and we want to be able to enjoy it in a safe manner. As well, we tend to look at our buildings and our transportation networks through a climate lens. And so the more that we can get people out of cars to still be able to get safely to where they want to go. So it's, you know, connecting those people with places and making sure that those high traffic corridors make it still comfortable for people to walk and ride their bikes is just very important. Having been a small business owner in our urban downtown, I do have a different perspective to bring to council. And, you know, walking through downtown, driving through downtown, having my customers be able to come to these places of business downtown. You know, the parking, you know, it's usually about the parking, right? But it's also getting someplace safely and having the options to use other forms of transportation like walking and biking and riding the bus.
What could be considered a user conflict. We've got a working port like I talked about, and so there's logging trucks that come back and forth and cargo trucks that come back and forth through this part of town. Right behind me I've got the Olympia Farmers Market, which is one of our most popular tourist attractions. So we have not only people that live here that want to get to the farmers market, we have visitors from all over the area. So this intersection is another example of where we had to figure out a way to make sure that, here's a logging truck right here. So you can see how our transportation engineers were able to accommodate. There's a bike lane, has a green striping on it so that motorists know that that's for bicyclists only. And then as well, further down, there's a buffered bike lane with just paint stripes so again, motorists know that that is a dedicated bike lane.
So one of the other aspects of a full, you know, developed transportation plan is to include accessibility. Not everybody can walk or ride a bike. So there is public transportation that can meet some of that need, but as well, where do we need bump outs? Where do we need to create safe islands for people to get across the street, pause and then continue? And so if somebody is, you know, working with a wheelchair or a walker, we need to consider that in our high density areas. Planning for the future was part of the master plan. And as we all know, things are changing rapidly with our transportation infrastructure, mostly around self-driving cars. But we also, especially with the pandemic, have been very used to going online and ordering something and having it delivered sometimes that day. And so they're already doing the technology around self-driving cars, drones, delivery by drones. And so we have to be prepared for that future.
So here we have one of our newer buses, it looks like. And one of the things that we're most proud about is that our voters passed a ballot measure that made it possible for all of our buses to be fare-free. So it doesn't cost anything to ride a bus in our city right now. In fact, here's one now.